What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and welcome to episode 92 of All Hail the King. We're closing in on that 100 mark, and I know I've briefly mentioned this before, but it would be cool to do something special for that. I'm just not sure what, so if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Post them in the comment section below. As for this current episode, it is going to be all about Knight America. Then the following episode will be on Moondragon. I think we can all agree that Knight America is a pretty awesome, new, and unique character. Unfortunately, Spitfire seems to love going after him. But if he can make it through, there was something I wanted to try out with this team. So far it's not looking great, but maybe she'll do an attack run, and it does look like she's going to. So thank you to the AI. Now, what I wanted to try, maybe foolishly, was to use Cable's temporal shift and see if we could reset it. Regardless, it was pointed out to me on a stream that Cable is doing tons of damage with that psionic spikes, if it's set up, so he's still going to be a pretty awesome character to use. So let's see if it still works. Here it goes. They do have Mystic Shroud, unfortunately. We come so close to one-shotting the enemy agent. If only we would have hit him, maybe we could have taken down Star-Lord as well. Still though, we have to finish that agent, he's a pretty big threat. And then with Star-Lord's turn, he's actually interrupted by Knight America. So pretty solid start to this one. With my agent, stamina drain is still very viable, so we're using first, while we tried to Lunacy, then it's time for the Blackest Void. And this is where Knight America comes in. We're going to use his War Stories. That heals our team, removes debuffs, energizes us because of Gracious, and then it's supposed to reset the cooldown on buff abilities. After that, Spitfire, the PvP juggernaut that she is going to fully, relentlessly assault Knight America. And after her Sleeping Tiger, he's all but knocked out, so he is going to go down. I mean, talk about overpowered. To make things even worse, Star-Lord gives her another turn. Thankfully, she does have to recharge, and then, unfortunately, our plan did not work out. We cannot use Temporal Shift again yet. I think it was worth a shot, and I still wanted to include it, so that's why we have it in here. And hey, we had that awesome preemptive interrupt, and we saw Cable's power, so a decent starting match either way. The next two team-ups though are going to work out as far as the principle I was going with on this one. So yeah, this one didn't work, but the next one definitely will. And hey, speaking of Cable, he almost takes out Star-Lord just like that. So my agent's going to use the Lunacy, then the Smothering Shadow. This by itself is going to definitely take down Star-Lord, but we still have another action. So that means the Ionic Devourer is in play. Sadly, it doesn't hit Star-Lord. And Spitfire's still kicking, so she's probably going to recharge her first turn, then let someone have it with another 2 attacks. Just a major nuisance, and I'm also kind of shocked that a match with this team went this long. Usually they're over one way or the other. But hey, she's not going to cut through Cable quite the same way she did Knight America. And on his turn, he actually does have Temporal Shift back. So we'll use Techno-Organic Control, then Temporal Shift, and we can switch back and use our level 1. First on Spitfire. Since that doesn't do nearly the damage we wanted, we'll fire it again, and Star-Lord will go down to dots. So that's our first match. Next up, I wanted to try this and show you Skirn. So right away you may think Burst of Speed. Well, check it out. Now we kinda waste a turn using the Lunacy, and we take a Stimulator hit for that. So then we're going to use the Blackest Void. We'll just call it a day after that. Unfortunately, the enemy Cloak and Dagger are going to go next. And by the way, I started calling this team Kurth and Dagger. Kind of by accident, but I think it fits it. Anyways, their turn could have been worse. And now with Skirn, we're going to use that Burst of Speed. a quick action buff that gives her 2 actions, and because of the manifesting AISO, also a guaranteed crit. So with her attacks, we'll begin by using our hammering blow. Then we go with the stomp, and that knocks out the enemy agent. So yeah, major damage from that hit. And now on Knight America's turn, you guessed it, we can use his war stories. And by the way, he's going to be our next level 15 without a question. We're saving up right now. That will help him out greatly. But anyways, we use his buff. Then back to our agent, we can use the Lunacy, which at least affects Cloak and Dagger. Followed by the Smothering Shadow. And that will dot and drain stamina from both. Then on Cloak and Dagger's current turn, they have to recharge, so that's going to really help us out. Plus we get to use Burst of Speed yet again. So we'll use that. Then our level 1. And we're going to go after Kurth this time. Unfortunately, there you see the bug still in existence from the Elite EISO. And we come up just short on our stomp. So really unfortunate, but she does go down to dots right after. So now, on Knight America's turn, we're going to use our level 1. And at least attacking Cloak and Dagger gets a second Sword of Liberty. And all in all, this can do a lot of damage. Right now it didn't, but usually it absolutely does. Hopefully in this match we don't have to go too long against just Cloak and Dagger. But you saw the damage potential from 2 bursts of speed. It's just really awesome to use. And hey, surprisingly we didn't have Despair yet. So we get to actually heal. Cloak and Dagger still can't act. And then on Knight America's turn, once again, we're going to attack them with... Well, it's smarter to use that level 1, but we do want focal point on them, so it's a pretty tough decision. In the end, we want to see a Shield of Freedom, so we're going to throw that. Then we still get our level 1. It really doesn't matter because on my agent's turn, the Atom Smasher's up, and we're just going to go right to that. We'll end the match and move on to our third and final team up. So there it is, I actually like the team of Skirn and Knight America. I really do enjoy them. Now for the final team, I'm just going to say right now, you have to have nearly perfect turn order for this. Very difficult. But the premise does work. First of all, you're probably going to need your agent to go. So he's going to use the Blackest Void. Without that, most teams are going to block your debuffs. So this is what I mean by perfect turn order. Right away, we're just going to use that, and that'll be it. Then we have to wait for the enemy to go, and unfortunately in this case it's going to be Null, so we're in for some trouble right off the bat. He of course uses You're Not Worthy, but then he hits his own teammate. So hey, it could have been a lot worse. Now with Avalanche, his Epicenter is a buff debuff. That means we can reset the cooldown. It generalizes exhausts, and because of the lethal AISO, it adds Despair. Pretty sick. So we can use that, and the exhaust of course comes in handy. Then with his level 1 Opportunist attack, he actually has Impaired and Neutralized. 2 really big debuffs right now. So there you can actually get those. And because he's level 15, he's going to attack twice. So an extra chance to do it. There goes his first fault line, and number 2. You know, that's another reason why I thought I wanted to use this character, and I figured, hey, at least we can use Epicenter twice. That could come in handy. So on Knight America's turn, we'll use his War Stories. And yes, it will reset the cooldown on Epicenter. So we know it works, we just need some really amazing turn order. And that is the problem oftentimes. But on our agent's turn, we're once again going to try to drain some stamina and apply debuffs. So the Smothering Shadow is pretty awesome for that. With Null, hopefully he has to pass. And he does, thankfully. but Avalanche is also stunned. Hey, Cloak and Dagger don't have stamina either, so it's back to Knight America, who's going to use his level 1. Null unfortunately takes the hit though. Would have been nice to double attack Cloak and Dagger. The question though remains, can the enemy agent do any actions? And that answers it, he has to pass. Now if it wasn't for this setup and stamina drain, I don't think this team would work. If you're wondering. But hey, it's still a fun thing to try, and we're using something different. With Null's turn, once again, hey, they fixed stamina drain, right? Oh, but wait a second, no one can still act. So yeah, changing free actions really wasn't enough, but it is what it is. Now Avalanche certainly can use their Epicenter again, even though it has a long cooldown normally. And then after that, I'm debating using the big one. I guess we'll let them have it. At least we're going to get Sky is Falling procs as well. And their agent is obsessed with hitting us with the metaphysical rifle. Now with Cloak and Dagger's turn, they are once again going to recharge. But now I'm fairly confident we can finally do a double sort of Liberty attack on them. And that takes them really close to being knocked out. Now with their agent up next, he's the only one with some health, but he doesn't have stamina, so he still can't act. And I believe that for the most part they're going to go down to dots. Maybe though we can get a finish with Knight America, most likely on that agent because the other two I think are going down. We'll see on Null's turn. Okay, so he's knocked out. Avalanche has to recharge himself. And Cloak and Dagger also die to dots. So as hopefully our final action, we use a Sword of Liberty. First hit does big numbers, then a decent follow-up, and we do end the match like that. So pretty great way to end the episode. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I do want to thank you for watching. Ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.